It's gonna be a quick episode, but I want to ask you guys an important question at the end of it, and I want your honest feedback. Hey guys, it's Wahama, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to another episode of Morning Tea, where we sit in our sleepwear and discuss current events. Today's tea is on timeout. It burned my whole bottom lip, so it's sitting over there and is on timeout until it cools off and learns how to act right. Okay, this is gonna be a weird morning tea because I don't have that many topics to talk about. Not to say that things didn't happen, but sometimes certain things don't catch my spirit, and so I'm not gonna talk about them if they don't catch my spirit. So let's get started. There's the tea. First topic. I didn't talk about this last week because I completely forgot. So there was an award ceremony, Fashion Designers of America Awards. Jesus, that is a long title. So Issa Rae hosted the Council of Fashion Designers of America Awards on Monday of like the 5th or something, like last week or week before. She was the first person of color to ever have hosted the show. And Kim Kardashian was in the audience, a bunch of other celebrities are in the audience, and Issa took this moment to make some jokes, and I thought they were very well played and good jokes. Because obviously, like, when you think of fashion, you don't necessarily think of Issa Rae, but she's hot right now. And I quote, "I'm about as fashionable as Kanye is black." And then she goes on to say, "That joke was my choice, like slavery." Ha! So I thought that was really cute and fun that she managed to just make that relevant joke, and no one can deny that it didn't happen or that she was being uncouth or whatever, because it happened. And it's true. Again, I don't want to take Kanye's black card, but I thought that was funny. Here's the tea. Somebody mentioned down below for me to check out a situation involving Walmart and like Mexican children, and I googled Walmart Mexican children and nothing came up. So if you could, sir, ma'am, I'm not sure the gender of the person, if you could let me know what you were talking about so that I can do more research on it. But okay, so let's move on to the next topic. Here's the tea. Serena Williams was being interviewed by a reporter. Apparently this reporter waited 14 years to ask Serena Williams this question. After the 2004 Wimbledon match with Maria, I had the opportunity to interview Donald Trump on his LA golf course, and he said that Maria's shoulders were incredibly alluring, and then he came up with this incredible analysis, that you were intimidated by her supermodel good looks. My question is, have you ever been intimidated by anyone on the tennis court, and what are your thoughts about that occurrence? Serena responds with, "I honestly don't have any thoughts about that. I can't say that I've been intimidated by anyone. That's all, and that's it." Like, who is this reporter, and why would he think that his inflammatory question about Trump's opinion 14 years ago about why Serena played the way she played against Maria Sharapova? I don't know the outcome of that match. I don't know what happened, but all I'm saying is like, bruh, really? Why? There has always been this controversy that Serena is not beautiful, that she's masculine, that she's not feminine, and all this negative stuff. And we are now in a place where like, that doesn't fly anymore. You're not gonna come for our sisters anymore and tell us that we're masculine and that we're not feminine enough, especially our top of the line athletes. Not Serena Williams, not Venus Williams, not anyone, not never. And he's gonna ask her this, and what is she supposed to reply? Yeah, at the time, because of the patriarchy and European standards of beauty, maybe I was intimidated by her a little bit because she's like a supermodel. Like, it's so rude and ridiculous. And that reporter allegedly apologized later on for those comments because I guess he thought in his mind, like, oh, it's relevant because Trump is now the president, and I asked Trump 14 years ago when he wasn't even thinking about being the president, and like la-di-da-di-da. But it's just like uncouth and so gross, and I'm glad that she clapped back the way she did. I mean, just such a sexist question. Like, why would a woman, just such a sexist question? Like, do they ask men these kinds of questions? And like, no, they don't. I mean, these athletes just came off of the court playing a hard game. They are tough on themselves. They are at the top of the line. They are doing the best that they can possibly do. And these reporters are going to come out with these dumb questions, especially questions that are like so sexist and so irrelevant. She recently had another reporter say something about her scrappy performance today, and like it was filled with a lot of errors. And it's just like, bruh, can we leave the queen alone for just a second? She just had that baby and she wants to get home to that baby, okay? That cute baby. P.S. You guys should really check out Being Serena on HBO. I absolutely love it. I think it's a great show. It's really giving me an insider track on who she is, because I don't ever think about her really, and I didn't know that she was a beast and that she is just like, I mean, she's a beast. I didn't grasp it, and now I do, and I think you guys should watch it. It's really eye-opening. So let's move on. Here's the tea. This is like it's not actually hurting me. I'm just like scared. So that's it for the topics that I had written down. I'm just gonna like go through some tabs that I have open real quick and just give you guys some headlines. So it looks like the Federal Reserve has raised its interests again. They've raised it again because apparently the economy is doing really well and they're worried about inflation. And inflation is what happens when there's too much money out in the world and there's no like competition for it. Like people aren't having to work really hard for it and people can buy everything. That means the prices of everything goes up, and then all of a sudden it eventually will come crashing down and people won't have as much money, yet prices will be sky high. So they're trying to like balance it out away by changing the interest rates on a lot of these products that are like affecting everybody. So mortgages, credit cards, like all that stuff, right? And it's, I think unemployment is like 3.8, which is the lowest it's been since 2000. Here's the tea. Just a quick thing. President Trump met with Kim Jong-un. It was like a weird handshake. Like, I don't even think they're speaking to each other. Like, I feel like he's saying words and Kim Jong-un is just like shaking his head. Like, I'm sure Kim Jong-un speaks English because obviously like he's the dictator of a whole country. Like, he should learn a little English, right? Especially if we're talking mess about him all the time. They met, I guess, to have peace talks or whatever because they've just been like fighting each other. Rocket Man and Little Hands have been just like fighting each other for months now. So they met and everyone's like, ooh, they're meeting. What are they going to talk about? And after that meeting, which I'm not sure what they spoke about, but after the meeting, Trump makes some comments saying that the press is America's biggest enemy. And that's what happens when a private citizen becomes the president of the United States. Like, that's really what happens. The press is here to protect the people and to uncover injustices and do their very best to hold the government and any governing party to high standards, to hold them their feet to the fire, to make sure they stay honest. They're your enemies? Like, that's a really big word. Like, Saddam Hussein is an enemy, you know? Osama bin Laden is an enemy. The Russian president is an enemy. You know, like, there are plenty other enemies that are running around, and the American press is definitely not one of them. They may not be doing the best all the time, and they may skew the way we view information, and they may, you know, do whatever it is they do to sell and to make money to keep afloat and stay alive, because not all journalists are doing it for the honor. Some of them are doing it for the glamour and the money. You know what I'm saying? And television execs want to stay in business. So we know that there is not corruption, but we do know that there's like some shady stuff that happens within the press, but overall, they're your enemy? Bruh, no, they're not. Here's the tea. My last topic isn't a topic. It's a question that I want to pose to you. It's more philosophical and like, I guess where you stand. Could be seemingly considered political, but do you think that the government owes you a job? Because when the economy is bad and there's no jobs and there's layoffs and companies have to go under, everyone kind of blames the government. And like, I don't understand why. So there's a lot of different factors that come in with companies having their businesses here in America. First and foremost, America is expensive, period. And to me, it doesn't matter what field you're in. You could be in healthcare, you could be a doctor, you could be administration in healthcare, you could be in the judicial system, you could be a lawyer, you could be a police officer, you could be whatever. But I feel like there is this idea within the United States that once you graduate high school or do whatever, that you're somehow owed a job. And if you don't get a job, then it's someone else's fault. And I'm not necessarily somebody who has not had to deal with the economy being bad and therefore almost losing their job or having their job outsourced. And you know, that's happened to me a few times in my life. And I've just managed to be like, look, nobody owes me anything. The best I can do is save up my money for when rainy days happen to tide me over until I can figure something else out. I like to keep myself versatile. I like to try to find new things that I know how to do. Right now in my current position my 9 to 5, I'm learning something completely different. I was in retail for so many years. I'm learning more of the administration side of the world, whereas retail is completely different than that. And so for me, it was important to learn a new skill because you never know. You never know when you are going to have to change things up. You can't necessarily work for the same company for 30, 40 years the way we believe that it used to be. Because if you think about it, like, America didn't become a place of really milk and honey, and the middle class didn't really rise up until after the New Deal. Our economy has always been up and down, but it wasn't until I want to say like after World War II that the boom of the middle class just kind of rose up. This industry just came about. And then we had the boom of technology and that industry just came about. And there's people who are still like complaining about their jobs being outsourced. And I'm not trying to have a conversation about Philippines or India and why jobs go there. They go there because Americans are expensive. They can get things done cheaper so that the consumers that are American can purchase. Everyone's like, oh, buy American made, shop mom and pop. Like, I definitely try to do all those things and shop mom and pop, but like, that is expensive. It's expensive to buy American made. It is expensive to buy mom and pop. Like, the same way it's like, oh, we'll just go someplace where you can eat healthy food, or go to McDonald's where you can get a meal and feed your whole family for $15. You get what I'm saying? So like, it's always this like balance that I don't quite think that most Americans realize is out there. It's not as easy as we need to keep the jobs in the US. We need to, you know, keep it all America, make America great again. Like, it's not about that. If you think that the government or anybody owes you a job based on whatever accreditation you have or don't have, whatever degree you have or don't have, whatever diploma you have or don't have, like, it does not matter. Not everybody will always have a job based on their skill level, based on what they bring to the world. And so it's almost like you kind of have to have the entrepreneurial spirit at the same time. Now, not everybody has that. I personally don't have the entrepreneurial spirit, like, but I do want to work for myself. So it's not like I want to be an entrepreneur and develop a company and have people come work for me. Like, I just want to work for myself and sustain myself, you know, to deal with myself and sustain my family. So that's all I wanted to ask. Okay, you guys, so that's the end of this episode of Morning Tea. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I want to thank myself for being super consistent. This is the 3rd week in a row. If you like what I do here on this channel, you'd like to consider becoming a Patreon patron, please click the link down below. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you know when I upload a video. If you like this video, share with your friends. Please like it. Let's get the word out there. And remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye.